If you're a grandparent, what I'm about to share might completely change how you see your relationship with your grandchildren. A comprehensive survey of over 2,000 grandchildren ages 16 to 35 revealed some truly shocking insights about what they really think about their grandparents. Before we dive into these eye-opening results, I need to know, where are you watching from today? Drop your city and state in the comments, and tell us your age group. Are you in your 60s, 70s, or 80s? These survey findings hit differently depending on your generation and location, so this helps us understand our community better. Some of these findings will warm your heart. Others might surprise you, and a few might even challenge assumptions you've held for years. But here's what's most important. Every single finding gives you practical ways to strengthen your bond with your grandchildren. This isn't just feel-good fluff or generic family advice. These are real responses from real grandchildren who were asked tough, honest questions about their relationships with their grandparents. They shared their deepest thoughts, their unmet needs, and yes, even their frustrations. If you're ready to hear the unfiltered truth about what your grandchildren really think, hit that like button now. This information could transform your family relationships. The researchers didn't just ask surface-level questions. They dug deep into emotions, expectations, memories, and hopes. What they discovered challenges many of the assumptions grandparents make about their relationships with their grandchildren. Whether you see your grandchildren daily or just a few times a year, whether they're young children or adults starting families of their own, these findings will give you invaluable insights into their minds and hearts. Ready for some surprising truths? Let's start with finding number 1. The first shocking finding: 87% of grandchildren said they remember specific conversations with their grandparents from years or even decades ago. Both positive and negative comments. Write this down. Your words have lasting impact far beyond what you realize. Sarah, age 28, shared, "My grandmother told me I was such a smart girl when I was 7, and I still hear her voice when I'm facing challenges at work. But I also remember when she criticized my weight when I was 14. Both comments shaped how I see myself." This finding reveals something crucial. Grandchildren aren't just politely listening during your conversations. They're absorbing, processing, and carrying your words with them for years. The casual comment you make about their appearance, their choices, or their dreams becomes part of their internal dialogue. Here's where your location and age matter. Comment below with your state and age group, and share. What's one thing your own grandparents said that you still remember today? The survey revealed that positive affirmations from grandparents have extraordinary staying power. Grandchildren specifically remember being told they were loved unconditionally, that they were capable of great things, and that their grandparents believed in them. But the flip side is equally powerful. Critical comments about appearance, life choices, relationships, or career paths also stick. Many adult grandchildren reported still feeling the sting of disapproving comments made years earlier. The researchers found that grandchildren value honesty from grandparents, but they distinguish between constructive guidance and harsh judgment. They want your wisdom, but they also want your acceptance. If encouraging your grandchildren matters to you, share this video with another grandparent. Every share helps these important insights reach more families. This finding should empower you. Your words have incredible influence. Use that power wisely, and your grandchildren will carry your love and encouragement with them forever. Here's a finding that might surprise you. 72% of grandchildren said they value their grandparents' personal stories more than the gifts they receive. Yet only 31% said their grandparents regularly share meaningful stories about their lives. Quick pause. If storytelling from your own grandparents was important to you, type stories in the comments. Let's see how many of us understand this connection. Emma, age 24, explained, "I love the sweaters my grandma buys me, but what I treasure most are her stories about growing up during the Depression. Those stories teach me about resilience in ways no gift ever could." The survey revealed a startling disconnect. Grandchildren are hungry for your personal history, but many grandparents focus more on providing material things or fun experiences. Your grandchildren want to know who you were before you became a grandparent. They want to hear about your first job, your biggest mistakes, how you met their grandparent, what scared you when you were their age. These stories help them understand their family identity and give them perspective on their own challenges. Specifically, grandchildren said they most want to hear about times you failed and how you recovered, what life was like when you were their age, how you made difficult decisions, your proudest moments that weren't about your children or grandchildren, changes you've witnessed in the world. Here's a challenge for our community. In the comments, share one story from your youth that your grandchildren might find interesting. You might inspire other grandparents to open up too. The researchers found that grandchildren see these stories as gifts that connect them to their heritage and help them navigate their own lives. Your experiences become their roadmap. Don't worry about being interesting enough. Your ordinary life experiences are extraordinary to them because they're uniquely yours and part of their story too. This finding might sting a little. 64% of grandchildren said they can tell when their grandparents are distracted or not fully present during conversations, and it affects how much they're willing to share. Be honest in the comments. Do you sometimes find your mind wandering when your grandchildren are talking? Your honesty might help other grandparents too. Michael, age 19, shared, "When I'm telling my grandpa about college and he's checking his phone or looking at the TV, I just stop sharing personal stuff. I can tell he's not really interested." The survey revealed that grandchildren notice everything. When you're multitasking, when your mind seems elsewhere, when you're waiting for them to finish talking so you can share your own story. They interpret distracted listening as lack of genuine interest in their lives. But here's the encouraging part. When grandchildren feel truly heard, they open up dramatically. They share deeper concerns, bigger dreams, and more personal struggles. Full attention from a grandparent feels like a rare gift in today's distracted world. The research showed that quality of attention matters more than quantity of time. 15 minutes of focused, genuine interest in their lives means more than hours of distracted interaction. If you've learned something valuable so far, please share this video with a friend or family member. These insights can strengthen families everywhere. Grandchildren specifically mention noticing when grandparents ask follow-up questions that show real interest. Remember details from previous conversations. Put away devices during talks. Make eye contact and give physical cues of engagement. The teenagers and young adults in the survey said they compete with technology and busy schedules for everyone's attention, but they especially value when grandparents choose to be fully present with them. This finding is actually hopeful. Small changes in how you listen can dramatically improve your relationship with your grandchildren. This finding was one of the most touching. 78% of grandchildren said they worry about their grandparents' health, safety, and loneliness, but only 23% said they feel comfortable expressing these concerns directly. Think about this. When did you last worry about your own grandparents? Share your age and city, and tell us if you worried about your grandparents when you were younger. Lisa, age 26, revealed, "I worry about my grandma living alone, but when I try to talk about it, she changes the subject or gets defensive. I wish she knew I worry because I love her, not because I think she's incapable." The survey uncovered a hidden emotional layer. Your grandchildren notice when you're struggling, even when you try to hide it. They see signs of loneliness, health concerns, and daily challenges, but they often feel helpless or unwelcome when they try to address these concerns. Many grandchildren reported feeling caught between wanting to help and not wanting to seem disrespectful or overstepping boundaries. They worry about you falling or getting hurt when alone, social isolation, and loneliness. Whether you're eating properly, your sadness about friends who have passed away, financial concerns you might not discuss. The researchers found that grandchildren often discuss their concerns about grandparents with parents or siblings, but rarely directly with the grandparents themselves. If family connection is important to you, hit that like button. It helps this reach more grandparents and grandchildren who need these conversations. Surprisingly, many grandchildren said they want to help more, but don't know what kind of help would be welcomed. They're afraid of hurting your pride or independence, so they stay silent while worrying. This creates a cycle where grandparents feel like no one cares, while grandchildren feel like their concern isn't wanted. Breaking this cycle requires honest, gentle communication from both sides. Here's a surprising finding. 69% of grandchildren said they want to hear about times their grandparents failed or made mistakes, but 84% of grandparents said they try to only share positive or successful experiences. This might challenge your assumptions. Do you share your failures with your grandchildren, or do you try to appear perfect? Let us know in the comments along with your city and age. Jake, age 22, explained, "My grandfather always talks about his successes, but I want to know about times he messed up. How did he handle getting fired? What mistakes did he make in relationships? Those stories would actually help me." The survey revealed that grandchildren don't want perfect role models. They want relatable human beings. When you only share your triumphs, you inadvertently create pressure for them to be perfect too. Grandchildren specifically want to hear about career setbacks and how you recovered, relationship mistakes and what you learned, financial struggles you overcame, times you disappointed people and made amends, moments you felt scared or uncertain. The research showed that vulnerability from grandparents actually strengthens the relationship. When you share your imperfections, grandchildren feel more comfortable sharing their own struggles. Share this insight with another grandparent or family member. Many of us learn to hide our failures, but maybe it's time to reconsider. One grandmother in the study started sharing more personal struggles and found that her granddaughter opened up about problems she'd been hiding. The granddaughter said, "Knowing Grandma survived her mistakes makes me feel like I can survive mine." The key is sharing failures with the lessons learned, not just the pain. Your grandchildren want to understand that struggle is normal, that recovery is possible, and that they can trust you with their own imperfections. This doesn't mean overwhelming them with your problems, but rather showing them that wisdom comes from experience, including difficult experiences. This finding might surprise many grandparents. 81% of grandchildren said they don't expect their grandparents to be tech experts, but they appreciate any effort to connect through technology, no matter how clumsy. Let's get real. How comfortable are you with technology when it comes to staying in touch with your grandchildren? Comment your comfort level and your age group. Ashley, age 20, shared, "When my 78-year-old grandpa sends me texts with random emojis or accidentally calls me on video chat, I think it's sweet. I don't care if he's not good at it. I care that he's trying." The survey shattered the myth that younger generations judge older adults for being tech-challenged. In reality, grandchildren are often touched by their grandparents' efforts to learn new ways of communicating. Many grandchildren said they'd rather receive a poorly formatted text from their grandparent than no communication at all. They don't expect professional-level social media skills or perfect video calls. What they do appreciate: any attempt to communicate on platforms they use, asking for help with technology instead of avoiding it, being patient with their help when they show you how to use something, not giving up after making mistakes. If staying connected with family matters to you, share this video. Technology doesn't have to be a barrier between generations. The research revealed that many grandchildren actually enjoy helping their grandparents with technology. It gives them a chance to contribute to the relationship and feel useful. Several grandchildren mentioned feeling proud when their grandparents successfully sent their first emoji, posted their first photo, or joined a video call. These small technological victories become shared celebrations. The key insight: your grandchildren don't need you to be tech-savvy. They need you to be willing to try, to ask for help when needed, and to not let technology fears prevent connection. The final major finding was perhaps the most profound. 83% of grandchildren said they're curious about their grandparents' lives, interests, and opinions beyond their role as a grandparent, but many feel like their grandparents only want to talk about family. Think about this. When you talk with your grandchildren, do you share your personal interests or do you mostly ask about them and talk about family? Be honest in the comments with your city and age. Maria, age 29, reflected, "I know my grandmother loves gardening and reads mystery novels, but she never really talks about these things. I'd love to hear her opinions about books or learn about her favorite flowers. She's more than just my grandma." The survey revealed that grandchildren want to know you as a complete person. They're interested in your hobbies, your opinions on current events, your favorite movies, your dreams and disappointments that have nothing to do with being a grandparent. When you share only family-focused conversations, you inadvertently limit their understanding of who you are. They want to see your personality, your humor, your unique perspective on the world. If personal connection across generations matters to you, please share this video with someone who needs to see this. These insights can transform family relationships. Grandchildren specifically mention wanting to know your hobbies and interests, your opinions on books, movies, or current events, what you dream about for your own future, what makes you laugh, what you think about when you're alone. The research showed that when grandparents share more of their authentic selves, grandchildren feel permission to be more authentic too. The relationship becomes less role-based and more person-to-person. This creates deeper, more satisfying connections that feel less obligatory and more genuinely chosen by both sides. So what do all these findings mean for your relationship with your grandchildren? The overarching message is clear. Authenticity and genuine connection matter far more than perfection or traditional grandparent roles. Your grandchildren don't need you to be the perfect grandparent who never struggles, always has the right answer, and focuses solely on their needs. They need you to be genuinely you, imperfect, learning, growing, and fully present when you're together. Before we continue, tell us in the comments, which of these 7 findings surprised you most? And remind us of your city, state, and age group so we can understand how these insights land differently across our community. The survey results suggest that the strongest grandparent-grandchild relationships are built on mutual authenticity rather than role-playing, deep listening rather than constant advice-giving, shared vulnerability rather than one-way wisdom transfer, present moment connection rather than technology perfection, personal interest in each other as individuals. This means you can stop worrying about being the ideal grandparent and start focusing on being the real you. Your grandchildren are already seeing you as a complete person. They're just waiting for you to show them more of who that person is. If these insights are helping you see your relationships differently, hit that like button and share this with another grandparent or family member. The research also suggests that many of the barriers between grandparents and grandchildren are based on assumptions rather than reality. You might be holding back vulnerability when they crave authenticity. You might be avoiding technology when they'd celebrate your efforts. The good news is that small changes in how you approach these relationships can create dramatic improvements in connection and mutual satisfaction. Here are specific, actionable ways to apply these survey findings to strengthen your relationship with your grandchildren immediately. Start with your words. Remember that your casual comments become their internal dialogue. Before speaking, ask yourself, is this something I'd want them to remember for years? Focus on encouragement, acceptance, and constructive guidance rather than criticism. Share your stories. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start sharing personal stories from your youth, your struggles, and your growth. Your ordinary experiences are extraordinary to them. Practice full presence. When they're talking, put away distractions. Ask follow-up questions that show you're listening. Remember details from previous conversations. Let them worry about you. Appropriately, don't hide every struggle or challenge. Share appropriate concerns and let them help when they offer. Their care for you strengthens the relationship. Share your imperfections. Tell them about times you failed and what you learned. This gives them permission to be imperfect too, and shows them that growth comes from experience. Try technology. Make small efforts to connect through their preferred communication methods. They'll celebrate your attempts, not judge your mistakes. Be yourself. Share your interests, opinions, and dreams that have nothing to do with being a grandparent. Let them see you as a complete person. Here's your homework from our community. Pick one of these 7 areas and try something new this week. Then come back and tell us in the comments how it went. Include your city, state, and age so we can celebrate your successes together. The key is starting small. You don't need to transform everything at once. Pick one insight that resonated most and experiment with it this week. Remember, your grandchildren already love you. These changes will help them connect with you more deeply. These survey findings reveal something beautiful. Your grandchildren want deeper, more authentic relationships with you. They're not looking for perfection. They're looking for genuine connection with the real you. The gap between generations isn't as wide as we sometimes think. Your grandchildren care about you more than you might realize, worry about your well-being, value your stories and wisdom, and want to know you as a complete person. Here's what I need from you right now. Tell us in the comments which of these 7 findings surprised you most. And don't forget to share your city, state, and age group, 60s, 70s, or 80s. This helps us understand how these insights affect different communities and age groups. The most encouraging finding from this entire survey is that small changes can create significant improvements in your relationships. You don't need to become someone different. You just need to become more authentically yourself. If these survey findings opened your eyes to new possibilities with your grandchildren, please hit that like button and share this video with at least one other grandparent. Don't wait. Do it right now while you're thinking about it. Your grandchildren are waiting for deeper connections with you. They want your stories, your authenticity, your presence, and your genuine interest in their lives. These aren't burdens. They're opportunities to create relationships that enrich both your lives. Subscribe to our channel for more insights about family relationships and successful aging every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're here to help you build stronger connections across the generations. Remember, you're not just a grandparent. You're a complete person with a lifetime of experiences to share. Your grandchildren are ready to see all of who you are.